right, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a topic that, well, it's close to home for millions. World No Tobacco Day.
Right. It's marked globally May 31st every year. A really vital moment, actually, for us all to just stop and think.
And its history, looking at the sources here, it goes back a bit, doesn't it? 1987.
Yeah, the World Health Organization established it then.
Yeah.
And it was officially adopted with a resolution in 1988. The main point was, and still is, crystal clear.
Which is?
To shine a massive spotlight on the absolutely devastating toll of tobacco. And importantly, to push back against the, well, often manipulative tactics of the companies selling it.
And to kind of ignite global action towards a future without tobacco, basically.
Exactly. A tobacco-free future. That's the ultimate aim.
Now, what seems particularly interesting this year, based on what we're looking at, it seems the core message is getting a completely fresh, almost tech-forward burst of energy.
Yeah, like bringing a really distinctly youthful voice into this long-standing global health fight.
That's what stands out, isn't it? How these new technologies, tools that feel very, I guess now, are being applied to what is a very old, very stubborn public health crisis.
It's about finding new ways, really, to talk about the same urgent problem.
Absolutely. So for this deep dive, our mission is, well, to explore the material you've given us, focusing specifically on this innovative new approach and, of course, the essential fight against tobacco itself. Let's dive in.
Okay. So when we look at the bigger picture here, the World Health Organization, they've consistently framed tobacco as arguably the single biggest preventable public health threat humanity has ever faced. I mean, the scale is just, it's mind-blowing.
We're talking huge numbers, right?
Huge. Over 8 million deaths globally, every single year.
8 million. Just, wow. You really need to wrap your head around that number for
It's immense and incredibly tragic. The source material, it breaks it down further for us. Over 7 million of those deaths directly linked to people actually using tobacco. And then a really significant number, around 1.3 million, are non-smokers. People who die just because they were exposed to secondhand smoke.
Right. So these aren't just statistics on a page.
No, absolutely not. They represent families ripped apart, unimaginable suffering, and just huge burdens on healthcare systems everywhere.
And it feels like despite, decades of warnings, campaigns, regulations, tobacco still maintains this deadly grip.
It does. And the sources highlight this is particularly true in low and middle income countries. That's where, frankly, tobacco companies seem to be most aggressive with their marketing.
Often exploiting places with maybe weaker regulations.
Exactly. So this raises a really important question for advocates, for health bodies. In the face of such a pervasive, wealthy, relentless industry, how do you keep the message fresh?
How do you stop people just tuning out?
Precisely. Awareness campaigns like World No Tobacco Day are crucial for this. And this year's theme specifically hammers home the need to protect young people, the future generations, right, from tobacco's reach.
Okay, and this is where the story we found in the sources gets really interesting. It gives us a concrete example of, well, fighting back.
Ah, the student project.
Yeah, this project from some students at the Mathrubhumi Media School in Kochi, India. They've decided to jump into this conversation. But not with, posters they painted or traditional media.
No, they've used technology and their own ingenuity.
What they did, which feels quite forward-thinking, was use multiple generative artificial intelligence models.
Right. Those AI tools designed to create new content, like images or text, based on prompts you give them.
Exactly. They used them to design a digital poster for World No Tobacco Day. It wasn't just like an art project, though.
No, it was clearly more than that. A deliberate effort, it seems, to combine health advocacy, this cutting-edge emerging tech, and that vital, youthful perspective.
All to try and shift public perception, especially for people, living and scrolling in the digital world.
The sources make it clear the students understood something key. Yeah. Online, you're battling constant noise, constant distraction.
So to make a message about something as serious as tobacco stand out, it couldn't be bland. It had to be powerful, visually striking.
Something that would make someone actually pause their endless scroll. Just stop for a second.
And the poster they came up with, well, based on the descriptions anyway, it sounds like it achieves just that.
Yeah, they used a blend of text, symbols, visual metaphors, all crafted or enhanced using this generative AI tech. The goal, it seems, was to capture both the grim reality of addiction and the possibility of a future free from smoke.
The look is described as stark, impactful, really impactful.
You can almost picture it from the details in the sources, can't you? These visual ideas they explored with the AI.
Yeah, like smoky textures swirling into fractured faces, maybe lungs depicted in ways that show destruction.
But also maybe the potential for recovery, like turning into dead ash, yeah. But maybe also the roots of a new tree. It speaks to devastation.
But also hope. Life regeneration if you quit.
Exactly. And the core message, well, there's absolutely zero room for misinterpretation there.
Right. It's that clear, direct, unwavering statement. Smoking is injurious to health.
It's a phrase we've seen for so long, haven't we?
Yeah.
Legally required on cigarette packs and ads everywhere.
But because it's just everywhere, because it's often just background noise, there's this risk of desensitization.
We can just stop seeing it.
Yeah.
Literally stop registering it.
It becomes bureaucracy, fine print you ignore.
But what these students did, using AI and these striking visuals, was, in a way, reclaim that phrase.
Pulled it out of the background. Made it the powerful standalone declaration of truth it actually is.
Delivered in a way that is genuinely hard to ignore.
Yeah. Another really compelling aspect of their approach, highlighted in the sources, is the educational context.
Right. These students weren't just learning how to use AI or design tools for, say, commercial purposes.
No, they were being trained in the responsibility of public communication, understanding that media isn't just about transmitting information,
but about shaping attitudes, inspiring change.
And by aligning their creative output with World No Tobacco Day, they're connecting their technical skills to this whole legacy of public health advocacy.
And the choice to specifically lean on generative AI feels really significant, doesn't it?
It does. We often hear about AI in terms of, I don't know, business efficiency or entertainment.
But here it's being directly applied as a tool for human well-being, public health.
They explored how text-to-image platforms where you literally type descriptions of what you want the AI to draw, and it generates the image, could help them visualize these abstract, complex ideas.
Ideas like the pressure to fit in, maybe? The strength to resist, the trap of addiction.
Or even the idea of starting over, rebirth after quitting. Things that are hard to capture simply.
This kind of work genuinely feels like it's pushing the boundaries in health communication.
Combining digital fluency, design skills, and now AI, it creates incredibly potent tools for public health campaigns.
And in places like India, which our sources note sees over 1.3 million deaths related to tobacco every single year.
Wow, 1.3 million just in India.
Yeah. So finding ways for these messages to land effectively is just absolutely critical.
And it's crucial, especially to connect with young people, isn't it? They're often the primary target for the remaining tobacco advertising, peer pressure.
Definitely. To empower them, to help them become the vanguards of resistance against tobacco, the message has to reach them in a way they understand.
A visual language, a digital language.
Something that connects instantly, meaningfully, perhaps through empathy or just the stark reality of the evidence.
Ultimately, World No Tobacco Day is fundamentally about empowerment, isn't it?
It is. It reinforces the truth that health is a basic human right. It's a global call to action for everyone. Governments, yes, but also educators, artists, tech innovators.
And every single member of the public. Everyone has a part to play.
The fight isn't just against the physical addiction. It's against apathy, against the spread of misinformation, and against an industry that, frankly, makes its living from selling poison.
The WHO's strategies are broad. The sources remind us things like promoting higher taxes,
putting limits on advertising, ensuring graphic warnings on packs, offering support for people who want to quit.
Actively exposing the deceptive tactics of tobacco companies. All crucial stuff.
But as they point out, these big international bodies can only do so much from afar.
Right. Real progress, getting policy translated into tangible change on the ground, often comes down to local action, grassroots creativity.
And messages that really resonate within specific cultures. What these students have done using these new tools in their local context feels absolutely essential in that bigger picture fight.
So their poster is now out there. It's circulating on social platforms.
Competing for attention in timelines, just overflowing with content. A tough place to be seen.
But in its vivid, AI-crafted visuals and its absolutely unflinching core message, you can see how it could cut through, how it could make someone pause that scroll.
Stop. Even just for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And really think about what they're seeing.
And that moment of stopping, that moment of reflection, that's the start of the ripple effect, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It might plant a seed, inspire someone not to start smoking in the first place, or motivate someone who does to maybe consider quitting.
Or even just give someone the resolve to help a friend or family member on their own journey.
Every little bit helps.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's circle back to that single, powerful message these students amplified. The message at the core of this campaign of World No Tobacco Day itself.
Smoking is injurious to health.
It's not just, a dry, legally required warning printed in small type somewhere.
No, it is, as the sources in the students' work really underscore, a moral imperative. It's a fundamental truth.
A truth that needs to resonate everywhere, loudly and clearly, in our homes, our workplaces, our schools.
And yes, right there across our digital screens. It needs to be unavoidable.
It needs to be etched into our public consciousness, really. Told and retold in every way imaginable.
Through the cold, hard statistics, yes.
Right.
Through the deeply human personal stories of loss and recovery.
And now, compellingly, through these striking, sometimes surreal visuals generated by artificial intelligence.
This World No Tobacco Day, the students of Mathrubhumi Media School didn't just create a digital image. Based on what you shared, they've helped visualize a possibility.
A possibility of what,
A
exactly?
future world where health is genuinely valued above a harmful habit, where clarity triumphs over the haze of smoke and confusion.
And where creativity, even powered by a new tech like AI, is seen and used as a powerful force for good.
Prioritize over endless empty consumption.
Exactly. It might feel like one project, one poster, in the face of this global giant of a problem.
It's easy to feel that way.
But in a world that often feels either suffocated by silence or just overwhelmed by noise, maybe even one clear message delivered with fresh tools and these passionate young voices, maybe that can absolutely help us all breathe a little easier.
Well said. And that leaves us with a really interesting thought to consider, doesn't it?
Here's the finish.
If one clear, vital message like this one, delivered with truly innovative tools and these fresh, youthful voices, if that has the power to make someone pause their scroll and inspire genuine reflection, well, what other critical messages we desperately need people to hear, could we amplify using these very same approaches?